So now I will tell you how we can create a good functionality for blueprints. And for that case, we can use our asset action library. It's empty, as you can see. I left a remaining class, which is null, and we'll use a blueprint. So for now, we create a test function, test. And now we just will not use only selected actors, but if you press get selected, we see it's only assets. We have actors, but it's just VR scouting, so you can ignore it. I don't actually what it's in the context sensitive, but it doesn't work well. And we can even get some data. So if you use functionality like for each loop, we can use asset data structure. And as you can see, this is like a package name, package path, asset name, asset class. This is actually very informative. So for now, I will use a show log to see actually if we can get some stuff. So this will be a title. I will make the show text. It will be asset data. And here, this is like a top level. And this is a path, which is like a string. And basically I will use it because it will help us, and I will use format text. And for that format text, what we can use, or we can maybe append or other things, but I can use package name. Wait, now I can use package path, asset name, asset class. It will be just a normal thing. We can use as well top level path, and we can connect everything. It will just print it out. It's just testing purpose, and now I can copy it over here, and this is the asset data. I can use show message and dialog, and now we don't have any even actors to create, so this is our content. I'll use a blueprint. This blueprint will contain something. It will be an actor. It will be showcase, and we will create some stuff because I know we will use it. So I will use a print string, for example, and I will use delay, and I will use maybe delay, and maybe I will use here, it can be, I don't know, gate, for example. And now I can just set it up because I will use it later, and I will add some variables like to and some naming conventions. Actually, I will show you how you can create that. I will just close it up because we will focus mainly on that. And now, as you can see, it's supported class. There's like a none. If I make a 0 and press test here, this is like a scripted actions, and it shows this is in BP showcase. It's in a game folder. This is a blueprint. The second option, I don't remember where is it, and this is like the showcase. So the second was asset class, yeah, because it's just an actor, that's why. But if you create a child class, it will show different operations. So this is just like a simple thing. We can call it get asset data, and basically we could even add like some stuff to make it more clear. We'll use package name. Here we'll use package path. I'll use asset name, asset class, and top level path. And for that case, I can use this. And now, obviously I'm using a blueprint. I'll use this one, and it shows everything. Great, we have information that we can copy it over. So this will be like a simple thing, and as you can see, this is just like for supported classes. So if I type something else, for example, I want to use it maybe on, I don't know, material. If I tap it over now and go here, as you can see, it has disappeared. So if you have a supported classes, obviously it will just appeal for some stuff. But for now, it is just not supporting. So if I press this, it will be cancelled. But for actor, it will apply for it. As though there is like a class. I don't know if you know about it, but this is a class called blueprint. And if I go now, I can use it. And now it will still get this kind of information. So this is like a blueprint class. It can be spawned just like an actor. And as well, for example, we can sometimes we can even use the graphs, and the graphs can be in the widgets. So this is a blueprint. This is get asset data. If I create a widget blueprint, which is user interface widget blueprint, I'll press VW. I'll use showcase. I will now use it. I'll use as well the material. It will be matte, and I will use a color. I will press 3. I will make this, connect it, and maybe change color because we'll have to use it later on. And yeah, this can be here. Okay, I will use it now. So for now we have different types. There's like asset actions, and there's no scripted actions, just like here. And if you go to showcase, you have a scripted asset actions. And that's why I want to use the blueprints, because we want to apply things as well in the widget blueprints. And if I make it only, because this is not so clear, if I make an actor and copy it over, for now it will not be visible in the widget. So I'll just stay and a blueprint. And as well, you can use is action for blueprints, but this is a case. So now I have a blueprint, it's visible, scripted asset actions. But if I go for that bool, create, it will override, because if it's marked, basically it shows it's only for blueprint. So this is just a get asset data, but it's not visible in the widget. So I don't know actually how it works. I haven't dived deep into the code, but I think it's better to just ignore that options, to hide that options and just use the blueprint, because for now it will be just visible in that case. And now if I use get asset data, it will show that it says UMG editor, and this is just the best way. So the better thing is just to ignore it. Ignore it, because it will just cause a problem. It will not be visible on widgets or any things actually that we will just apply, because we will use it, for example, to remove unused nodes or variables. And how we can do that actually? So for example, I can use remove unused variables. And from that, I can use get selected assets. And when you have assets, what I can do, I can use for each loop. And that each loop that is here, I can get blueprint asset. And that blueprint asset, I think it's why it's good to validate, because maybe it will crash or something. We can use some functionalities, and I will use remove unused variables, which is actually very good. And even here, we will be able to know actually how many variables have been removed. So we'll use, for example, show log, or maybe something. We can just print out the names. But for now, we can just try it. So this is remove unused variables. And here we have some variables that are not used. If I try to find a reference, they are here. And if I want to remove them, what I can do, I can just go to asset scripted actions. I just press this. And if I go it is removed. That's awesome. Basically, we just applied some functionalities. Okay, I will press Ctrl Z. I will just remove how we can do it. So for example, we have huge tons amount of blueprints, widgets, and we have variables. And these are so many of them. What we can do, we can just press, we can just mark all of them and remove unused variables. And then, as you can see, it has been removed because it supports the event graph. This is just the very beginning. In the next episode, because it will take quite longer, because I want to show you how we can remove event graphs, rename them, remove unused nodes, reparent blueprints, replace variable references. It can be done, everything in scripted actions, and I will show you how to do it in the next episode.